I'm going to explain this the way I'd explain it to a 5-year-old. And most adults don't even know this, so it's completely remedial. And I hope you find it useful. So I've been informed on dividend investment. In a nutshell, you buy stock that has a monthly dividend, a quarterly dividend, or a yearly dividend. So there's 12 months in a year, or 4 quarters in a year. So what does that mean? Well, it's hard to visualize without visual aids. That's what this is. So say you bought $1 worth of dividend stock, and it crapped out 5 cents a month, right? So you bought the $1 dividend stock, and it craps out 5 cents a month. But it's 5 cents a month times 12, because there's 2 and 1 making 12, right? Just like over here. So 5 cents times 12 is $0.60. Now what if it only paid quarterly, and say it was still 5 cents? Then it'd be times 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4 is 20. 20 cents. And if it just paid you once a year at 5 cents, well, you would get $0.05. And so what am I recommending? Get dividend. I don't like this language. It's hard to conceptualize. Dividend. Dividend. It seems hard to write. Get dividend stock. I recommend this kind, because it will pay you every month. And if you know anything like I do, you get bills every month, regular bills. So it makes sense to have the dividend stock pay you every month, because you have bills every month. So how much that you pay for the stock is variable. What the stock is in, what company or business, is variable. What the dividend will be is variable. The frequency that you'll be paid over the year is variable. The price, the initial price when you buy it is in stasis, but when you buy more later, after time goes by, it can go up or down. But don't worry about that. Once it's in hand, you don't worry about the price of this object. It's in your hand already. So don't worry about selling it. Because if you sell it, then it can't give you payments. Because you sell this off, you're also selling the payments that are scheduled. Now you have nothing. Okay? So it's basically once and hold. And hold. Once and hold. And then you get that payment. So even though these can vary, it holds true. So you're going to have the stock, and then you'll have the dividend, and then once you set it up, in most cases, if it's a decent company, that's the last thing you got to worry about, and then it just pays you. But what people don't understand is it's scalable. It's replicatable. So you can do it once, and in our example, equals 5 cents for whatever frequency of payment you settle for. Okay. What happens if you do it 10,000 times? Equals, I'll let you do the math. But you see it's scalable. Well, actually, we just turned the 1 into a 5, right? Note to self, bring a calculator. There's something wrong about that. I would almost, just looking at it, I would almost say, don't worry about it. It's just a placeholder. It's a placeholder. So you get your dividend stock, and you're going to have the stock itself that you pay for, and the dividend monthly, quarterly, or yearly that you're going to accept. Okay? And that's it. That's all you got to know. It's really easy. And if I were to make it into, well, this is basically a formula. The price and then the payout. You can keep buying these in different assortments of these, and get different of these. But the important thing is to make sure that you get these that make these. It's like buying chickens, right? That crap eggs out, okay? If the chicken doesn't crap out an egg, its utility is done. You don't sell the chicken because you want that egg. The frequency of the eggs in this case, you're going to get an egg 12 times a year or once a month, 4 times a year or quarterly, or once a year, which is annually. Okay? But it's crapping out eggs, right? It's crapping out eggs. So don't sell it, because if you sell it, it can't crap out eggs for you. I don't know. I don't think I'm really explaining this properly. Well, like I said, it's too like I'm missing my chalk. Okay. So if you can understand this, the more chickens you own, the more eggs they can crap out, okay? And eventually these eggs, pretend this chicken was crapping out pennies instead of eggs, okay? Maybe that's a better example. And the chicken itself was worth $1. We'll call it Buck the chicken, because it's worth $1. $1. So eventually, Buck the chicken's gonna crap out enough pennies at 5 cents. Let's say it was a monthly dividend of 5 cents. So that 5 cents will eventually add up to $1, and then you can buy another chicken with that $1, you see. The price of the buck is going to go up and down a little bit, because that's just the nature of stocks. They go up and down. So you might have to pay more for a buck later, or about the same or less. But as long as buck lays eggs, it'll eventually, or lays coins or pennies, the pennies will stack up to where you can buy a buck and then replicate it. So instead of $1, you have $2. See if I can replicate it. So now you have 2. And now you're crapping out 10 cents, right? So it's even a faster deal. I hope this explains the idea of dividend investments. It wasn't possible a couple years ago to do this, because every time you would buy a stock, they'd have a fee attached to the trade. But because of the opening up of the market, because of I think like Robinhood and a bunch of other online trading and stuff, it made it so competitive that even places like E-Trade, where I initially was doing stuff years ago, and I'd do it sparingly. I'd buy things sparingly because they would charge you every time you bought a stock and every time you sold a stock. So it was nickeling and diming you to death. But now where you can just buy dividend-bearing stocks and it doesn't cost you anything to place the trade, there's no reason why this won't work now. So you can keep buying dividend-bearing chickens or penny pooping chickens, or or dividend stocks that poop pennies, that you use the pennies to buy the more dividend stocks. I'm trying to explain this in a way that connects all the neurons together for you. It can be a chicken, it could be a buck, it could be $1, it could be a dividend bearing stock. The main idea though is that whatever this is, it craps out this that you can use to buy more of what this is, so it craps out more of this, so you can use this to buy more of whatever this is. It's easier to visualize it as a bird that craps money, I would think, or eggs. But the egg concept is that you could hatch this to make another one of these, but the hatch concept would be to buy another one of these. I don't think you're gonna actually hatch the pennies like in real life. And maybe there's a way to do that, but maybe you had a penny and it was worth a lot of money. Maybe it was a valuable penny. Maybe that sort of concept. But they're roundabout ways of explaining things. So yeah, leave some questions in the comments section if you understand if you're picking up what I'm laying down here. I think I'll try to sum it up once more or explain it. In a different way. You have this object that you buy, and it makes a little, we'll call it this. You buy this seed, and then it turns into a plant. That drops off little micro seeds that when you get enough of these, you can buy another one of these big seeds and then make another plant that makes micro seeds. I think the chicken concept is better, but the idea is you get the initial purchase of the dividend bearing stock. You hold on to it. It replicates itself. It's a nano machine. It's a self-replicating nano machine, but it's represented as a financial instrument. Maybe that's what I'll call this video. Nano machine dividend. Chicken nano machine dividends. Maybe. I don't know. So anyway, I think this video is gonna suck. I don't understand. I can't hardly explain this. But I think between the pennies and the seeds and the chickens, at least I don't have a live chicken I'm like throwing around on this or something. But between all of this, I think you kind of understand. How would I? I'll try to explain one last time. You buy X. X equals unknown amount of Y. I don't want to ruin the video. The videos. If you're still watching, I've noticed some people can only watch like 5 seconds of my videos. So if you're one of these hardcore people that watch all of my video, thank you, I guess. But you buy X. You buy X, okay? X craps out value that could be used to buy more X, okay? And it becomes one of these Mobius strips where it has a beginning and no end, or infinite value. So it makes money by replication of its value. And as far as the dividends, I would say do real estate, like REITs, do oil, that's a dead dinosaur. Petroleum. I've looked at prison stocks because there seem to be a lot of prisoners, and that's about it. I'm getting tired. I don't know if I'll upload this video. Anyway. Because if people are not in a building, then they're probably in a vehicle, and probably the vehicle is consuming dead dinosaurs. That's a misnomer, but so if they're not in a house, they're in a vehicle. So if they're not paying to live in a house or a shelter, they're in a vehicle. So they're in one or the other. And if they're not in a house and they're not in a vehicle, they're probably going to be in prison. So pretty much no matter where the people move around, their activities pay you. An example of prison would be Geo. You can look up Geo. It's a quarterly, I think. Example of resident or real estate would be AG&C, and example of dead dinosaurs or petroleum would be Euronav. So yeah, check those out and see their frequency they pay you. I know AG&C is once every month. I think Euronav is quarterly and Geo is quarterly. So just test that theory out. It's the theory, right? I'm employing it though. If you're not in the house, you're in the vehicle. If you're not in the house burning up a mortgage or rent, you're in a vehicle. If you're not burning up petroleum, at least until electric vehicles become predominant, it'll be a long time. And if you're not burning the dead dinosaurs or in a house, you're probably in prison. And so no matter where you move on in the system, you're making dividend investment income for the shareholders. So okay, that's the last explanation I'm going to do. This video has gotten up to upwards of 25 minutes, but that's how I'd explain it to a little kid, 5-year-old. You basically use different examples and different visual aids and concepts and things. Hopefully you understand. But thank you so much, and Let me know what you think.